Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're doing another quick Halloween video today, and I'm going to show you how to paint a full moon in a night sky in watercolor. So this is my October illustration page for things I've been filming for YouTube. And I'm just going to fill this top area here with a little experiment. I'm just using this lotion to draw a circle. And I'm gonna see if I can do a little full moon in a night sky watercolor vignette. So just make sure I have a nice circle. Thank you, Clinique. So almost perfect circle. I'm gonna lighten the line on this now with my putty eraser. And I'm going to just have to mix up a little bit more color here when I need a nice clean yellow for the moon. Now for the colors, I'm going to use what I have here that I used on the bat. And I'm going to get some cerulean light yellow, which is a nice light transparent yellow. And I'm actually going to add in some white to make it a bit more of a pastel color. Just use a scrap piece of paper here. And that looks good to me. Okay, now I'm just going to wet the circle for the moon. I'm using a number 2 round brush. All right, making sure that's nice and evenly wetted. I'm going to start with the bottom and make this part darker and this part lighter, even though the moon is technically one color. We still want light and dark to create this look of a sphere. And then I rinse my brush and just sort of blend that around a little bit. Just 'cause the moon has those craters in it, so it doesn't look all even anyway. Okay, like that. I'm going to dry this with a hair dryer and then come back to add in the sky. Alright, I dried the moon and I also took my white eraser and I just got rid of the rest of the pencil around the edge. And now I am just going to wake up my homemade black mix. I used Payne's Gray, Neutral Tint, Burnt Sienna, and some Winsor Violet to create this black. And then I also have some Lunar Black from Daniel Smith, which is just a black sort of granulating pigment. And I'm going to use this purpley color too. That's Neutral Tint and Winsor Violet. I'm just going to get my color mixing brush here to get some more. All right. I'm going to use a larger brush, a number 4. Actually, I think I'll use a number 6. get a little wild. And I do have a drawing here of a mushroom and a snail that I haven't painted yet, so I'm going to avoid that. And just kind of paint in a regular shape with the clean water that sort of fits in around my other illustrations. Hard to see completely right now because it's just clean water. Most importantly, I want to get the water cleanly up to the edge of the moon. And I'm just going to kind of hold my paper up so I can see. You can kind of see where it's shiny is where it's wet. And moving quickly, get the paint in. And I don't want to go to the edge of the water, I just want to go near it so that it bleeds out the soft edge. And make sure my paint is nice and wet. I'm going to put that neutral tint closer to around the edge of the moon. And I'm just noticing this spot here is not quite wet. It needs to be blended out a little bit. Go switching to a smaller brush, my number 2. Just going to use the smaller point to get that nice clean crisp edge around the moon. Now I'm just going to grab more of the black, just add that in. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to kind of do. I might add a little bit more to the moon once this is dry. So I'm just going to dry this with a hairdryer and then see if I'm finished. All right, I'm just going to add a little bit of shadow to the moon to indicate some of the faint craters. I'm going to use, very fittingly, lunar violet as my shadow color. I want to really water it down more and then dab my brush off and then just make a few little crater marks, rinse my brush out, and then sort of diffuse these. Keep rinsing the brush. We want them to be very subtle. And then I'll even just dab that a little. And it's not super noticeable, but it just does give it a little bit more, bit of a realistic look. Just add a little bit more in a few spots. All right, I'm happy with that. Just meant to be very simple, quick little full moon painting. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy Halloween.